Welcome to Jamaica Magazine. I'm Theodore Henry. We have an interesting show lined up just for you as we look at the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries plans for the 2021-2022 fiscal year. But first, we get the facts on other matters. You don't want to miss a minute, so stay tuned.
Hurricanes can strike at any time. In the event of one, be prepared to act quickly. If a hurricane watch or warning has been issued, review your home disaster response plan. Map out likely routes to evacuate if your home is at risk and confirm with relatives or friends you plan to stay with. Also, confirm the location of the nearest shelter. Check your emergency supplies and restock if necessary. Remember, disasters do happen, so be prepared.
Up next on Get the Facts, we'll be finding out more about the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission's Tertiary Education Grant Initiative.
Welcome to Get the Facts, the program that provides you with information on government's policies and initiatives. I'm your host, Vaughn Davis, sitting in for Enthros Campbell. Today we'll be talking about the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission, the BGLC's Tertiary Education Grant. We have with us Ms. Jeanette Lewis, Manager of Corporate Affairs and Communication at the Commission. Ms. Lewis, welcome to the program. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, the BGLC is better known for its licensing and monitoring roles in the gaming industry. But besides their regulatory function, the Commission is investing in the lives of young people by offering a tertiary education grant. Tell us why.
So in addition to our responsibility to ensure the integrity and sustainability of Jamaica's gaming industry, the Tertiary Education Grant is our flagship corporate social responsibility program. And what it does is helps us to contribute to ensuring that Jamaica has a cadre of trained and educated young people, which is an important foundation for national development.
All right. Well, educational development support is important to a lot of needy persons. That's very true. Give us an idea of the numbers you've been able to assist so far and the level of funds that supports this tertiary education grant.
Well, since 2014, when the tertiary education grant started, the BGLC has supported 1,200 students and invested about $69 million to provide assistance for their tertiary education.
All right. What is the grant fund amount available to individual students? How is it disbursed, and what are the purposes for which it can be used by the students?
So the grant is to aid with tuition, and the amount is $50,000 per student. And basically, it's a process of an online application, and that application includes submission of a writing assignment, and we evaluate the applicants, and this year we're choosing 350 students to disperse the grant to.
All right, wonderful. Now, for persons who are interested in applying for the grant, what's the procedure? How do they go about doing so?
Well, it's actually quite easy. It's a total online process, and you just have to visit the BGLC's website, and on the website is a link to the application form. And the online application requires you to go through some eligibility checks before you get to the main form, just to make sure that you meet the eligibility criteria. Then you have to upload supporting documents, enter your personal details and the two references, and submit your application along with your essay, of course, your writing assignment.
That all sounds fairly doable, I must say. Now, does it matter whether the person is pursuing an undergraduate or a postgraduate program?
So the tertiary education grant is only for undergraduate studies, full-time undergraduate studies in any subject area at any accredited tertiary institution across Jamaica.
All right, so that begs the question, who exactly is eligible to apply for this grant? What are the criteria that you're looking for?
So to apply for the BGLC tertiary education grant, you have to be a Jamaican citizen who is attending full-time undergraduate studies at any accredited tertiary institution in Jamaica in any area of study. You have to have a GPA of at least 2.75 out of a scale of 4, and you have to be no older than 26 by September 2021. and you have to be at least 18 years old, of course.
Okay. Now, we understand that you've including a writing assignment, very interesting, to inform and promote responsible behavior with regards to gaming. So talk to me about that. Why this approach?
Okay, so many times people get scholarships and have no connection or understanding of the organization from which they have received the support. We think it's very important that young people have an awareness of not just the BGLC, but the gaming industry, because the gaming industry does have a huge impact on people's lives. So we tend to have a writing assignment that encourages them to do some research and understand the industry. And responsible gaming is our primary message, gambling safely. If you're going to gamble, you have to do so in a way that's safe and does not compromise your life, your lifestyle, your family. So the writing assignment this year, for example, asks the students to write a letter to a family or friend who engages in gambling, but to give them some advice and counsel as to how they can do so safely, how they can get help if they find they're having a problem with gambling, and where they can go for this help.
All right, so where does one go to access the application form, and where should one submit the completed form?
So it's all online. We have an online application portal, which you can get a link to from our website. That when you click on the link on our website, it takes you to the application portal, which will take you through a process of determining your eligibility. And then you have to upload your supporting documents, which includes your transcript, a national photo ID, and the completed writing assignment. And you enter your personal details, the contact information for 2 references, submit, and that's the application done.
Now, COVID-19 has created a financial strain for many families, and help like the BGLC's tertiary education grant is significant. Let's take a quick break and come back to learn more about how to access the BGLC's tertiary education grant. Stay with us.
The following is brought to you by MOCA, the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency with kind support of NIA and USAID.
Criminal minds think they are cunning. The major organized crime and anti-corruption agency have them running. Your friend a shout, come here. Take time running, because we ready for the ops. Drive up on your block, step out now me block. Cyber take about your laptop. Pull up every lock, no evidence to drop. We put it in a cuffs and now we have the underground. Sin you say scam, you better look out for. When you move corrupt, better look out for. Please say you get wet, look out for. Look out for, look out for. From you say scam, you better look out for. When you move corrupt, better look out for. Please say you get wet, look out for. Look out for, look out for.
The proceeding was brought to you by MOCA, the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency with the kind support of NIA and USAID.
MOCA.
Welcome back to Get the Facts. We're talking about how the BGLC is assisting needy students to pursue higher education through its tertiary education grant. Here to tell us about that is Ms. Jeanette Lewis, Manager of Corporate Affairs and Communication at the BGLC. Now, Ms. Lewis, there is a deadline for application for the BGLC's tertiary grant. And how long after application will the grant be dispersed to applicants?
So the deadline for applications to submit everything is the Friday, the 16th of July. After that process, we have a group of teachers who will actually mark the essays and score the essays. And then by the end of August, we will advise the students what is the outcome of their application. The disbursement process then requires the tertiary institution to confirm that the students are actually registered to attend the tertiary institution in the semester. Once the school advises us that they are registered, each student is registered, we disperse the funds directly to the institution on the basis of that information.
All right, so I can imagine many persons might find the application process a little bit intimidating. And so how do persons, if necessary, contact the BGLC for some kind of support if they need that as they go through the application process?
So we have a number of channels that people can turn to for assistance. We have a WhatsApp text line, which is 876-224-2452. So you can send a message on the WhatsApp line. We've also received direct messages on our Instagram channel. And of course, you can email us at info@bglc.gov.jm. And then there's always a telephone where you can call our office during office hours at 876-630-1353.
So are there any supporting documents that persons need to submit along with their application?
Yes, the supporting documents are really very important. I mentioned the writing assignment before. So the 500-word writing assignment is important. We need an identification card. It can be any national ID, passport, driver's license, voter's registration. And then we also need to get the transcript or evidence of your GPA and academic achievements.
Most importantly, how will persons know that they've been successful in applying for the grant?
So by the end of August, we will email every applicant to let them know the outcome of their application.
All right, sounds good. So is this tertiary grant recurring?
We do this every year, but students apply each year. And students can apply and receive the grant. You can apply as many times as it takes to get the grant, but you can only receive it for 2 disbursements.
So can persons who are already in receipt of a scholarship or a grant still benefit?
So if you have gotten assistance in the form of a scholarship or grant from another organization, that does not preclude you from getting the BGLC Tertiary Education Grant, which is $50,000. So that does not cover the full cost of tuition. However, if you have received a scholarship from another organization that covers the full cost of your tuition, what we will do is ask you to forfeit the BGLC Education Grant so that it can be given to another needy student who needs assistance.
Okay, we are just about out of time, but I would like your final word on how all this will help change Jamaica and any advice to our students about what they can do to help make Jamaica the best place to live, work, raise families, and do business.
Well, as we said earlier, this flagship corporate social responsibility program, we believe, will ultimately help with national development by ensuring that there is a trained cadre of young people who can propel our country forward. So we want to encourage students, don't give up. Don't believe that there's no opportunity for you to pursue tertiary education. Find your passion, pursue the studies, and there is help out there from BGLC and other organizations to help finance your tertiary studies.
Well, the activity of national development is very important. It's an all hands on deck activity, and it's very important for those who can to help those who are in need. So in that stead, what the BGLC is doing is very, very commendable. And on that note, here's where we end our conversation for today. I'm sure we're leaving much more enlightened about the BGLC and the opportunities it is providing for young people, not just about regulating and ensuring fair gaming. This has been Get the Facts. Our guest was Ms. Jeanette Lewis, Manager of Corporate Affairs and Communication at the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission. For more information on the BGLC's Tertiary Education Grant, visit their website, bglc.gov.jm. Until next time, when Get the Facts brings you, as always, more important information, I'm Vaughn Davis. Thanks for watching and take care.
Practice good hygiene by washing your hands frequently using soap and water. Here's how you should do it while conserving water. Turn on the tap to wet your hands, then turn off the pipe. Lather your hands and the tap with soap. Turn on the tap and wash your hands, back, front, and in between fingers. Use some of the water to wash off the tap, then turn it off. Dry your hands with disposable hand towels. If you don't have running water, use a hand rub containing 62% or more alcohol. If hand sanitizers are not available, rubbing alcohol, Dettol, white rum, or household bleach will do the trick. And if all else fails, let hand washing and the handling of potable water be a two-person event. Each person will take turns pouring and washing hands with sitting water. Now is a good time to consider installing a tap on your containers to reduce the risk of water contamination. Faucets can be easily attached to drums, buckets, or 5-gallon water bottles. And to ensure that the outside of the containers are clean when recapping, disinfect it with hand rub containing alcohol that's 62% or more. The 5 R's of water conservation are also necessary to practice. Reduce water wastage by investing in water-saving devices. Reuse water at least twice before discarding. Replace leaking pipes, faucets, and other plumbing equipment. Recycle wastewater and use it for gardening, car washing, or cleaning of public spaces. And reclaim water through rainwater harvesting. We all must play our part to ensure there's water to combat the coronavirus and stave off prolonged drought.
Each time you're not paying full attention to the road environment, the greater your chances of getting in a crash like that. Plan routes to avoid focusing on GPS systems, prevent children from roaming in motor vehicles, turn down the volume of car stereo systems, pull off the roadway if you have to use mobile devices, do not read, watch television or eat while driving, avoid multitasking, and keep conversations with other passengers to a minimum. Whether you walk, ride, or drive, avoid potentially fatal distractions.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries is promoting a new face of food. It involves food security, agribusiness development, climate-smart technologies, and export expansion. FACE. Lots of new strategies are being deployed to achieve these new developments. Here's what's on the agenda.
We are building from the ground up. Our value stakeholders, our farmers, our fishers, they will not only be participants in projects, programs, or decisions. In fact, our food heroes will know that their input is fundamental in crafting the new face of the sector.
Food security, agribusiness development, climate-smart technologies, and export expansion is the new face of the agriculture sector. The plan is to create a sector that is inclusive, innovative, and sustainable, as well as internationally competitive. Here are the highlights, starting with agriculture. The new face of food revolves around research and development. For the current 2021-2022 fiscal year, an additional $150 million has been committed to this.
This is a long-term strategy, and as such, the government's Public Infrastructure Management Committee has approved a 10-year, $5 billion project to continue the work to bring all our research and development facilities to the cutting edge.
To improve seed development, the ministry will be partnering with local suppliers to evaluate new commercial crop varieties at research stations. There will also be follow-up field demonstration plots on farmers' holdings to track the performance of these crop varieties.
This government does not only listen to the cries of our farmers. This government takes action to ensure that we are firmly on the path for food security.
Minister Green and his team, with assistance from the Moroccan government, will be embarking on a $1.05 million agribusiness cold chain project for Jamaica.
This project will be carried out over an 18-month period across 6 highly productive areas and will see the establishment of modular, solar-powered walk-in cold rooms that provide unbroken off-grid storage and preservation of perishable foods. The project will also see small refrigerated trucks provided to these communities to transport produce to markets. And we are not yet done, because the project will see a network of temperature data loggers in the cold rooms and in the trucks that farmers can monitor remotely using their cellular phone.
Soil health is also an important factor in the farming process. So, a soil fertility mapping project has been approved. $1.3 million is earmarked for the project over a 4-year period. Greater emphasis will be placed on equipment access to farmers across the island. 6 new tractors are being provided to enhance the Rural Agricultural Development Agency RADA's tractor service. The agency will also be getting 4 new drones to support its work. In order to decrease the importation of goat meat, or chevron, $50 million is being spent to launch the Special Artificial Insemination and Embryo Transfer Project for small ruminants.
The objective is for rapid multiplication of the small ruminant population to satisfy the nation's animal protein demand in a sustainable, food-secure way.
Over 6,000 registered small ruminant farmers will be provided with between 1 to 3 inseminations for any breed of their choice and an ovum or embryo transfer for selected animals, completely free of cost.
We have reviewed and revamped the Farm Road program. This year's policy directive targets a minimum of 1 farm road per farming constituency, selected in consultation with the Member of Parliament.
$650 million has been allocated to rehabilitate 63 farm roads, impacting over 2,000 farmers across rural Jamaica.
Additional roads will be awarded from RADA's master list, which consists of recommendations from PMOs, Jamaica Agricultural Society groups, extension officers, and various stakeholders.
Over in the fishing sector, 15 fishing beaches have been selected for redevelopment in the next 5 years. The $2.25 billion project will include 3 beaches per year, starting in Clarendon, St. Elizabeth, and Hanover.
The development of the fishing beaches will include cold storage, sanitation facilities, a safe food market arrangement, fishing equipment storage, and general security systems.
Construction of a new $69 million aquaculture facility at the National Fisheries Authority in Twickenham Park will start soon.
This new hatchery will increase our fingerling production by 300%. We will move from a capacity of 1.5 million fry per year to 5 million fry per year when it is fully operational.
A satellite-based vessel monitoring system will be piloted this year as part of efforts to strengthen the safety mechanism for fishers at sea. Another initiative to enhance the safety of fishers at sea involves incorporating the use of a marine very high frequency or VHF radio communication system by the year 2023.
What this means, Madam Speaker, is that when our fishers are at sea, they will be able to communicate to us and tell us about their distress situations, and our JDF and our other first responders can track their location and can go to them to provide assistance.
Limited entry commercial fishery for sea cucumbers will also commence on September 1, 2021.
Sea cucumber in the Asian market fetches US $385 per kilogram. We believe that we here in Jamaica can harvest up to 30 tons of wet weight per year, which would give us up to US $30 million worth of exports.
Additionally, the National Fisheries Authority will be developing a new registration and licensing system which will allow fishers, fish farmers, and other stakeholders to register using their electronic devices.
This new system will allow any fisher, any fish farmer to anywhere, anytime, using their cell phone to register to become a part of the National Fisheries Authority.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries will be continuing its work to enhance the sectors.
We will transform Jamaica. We will create a new face of food where food security is priority, agribusiness development is key, climate smart technologies are being incorporated, and we are expanding exports. Through agriculture and fisheries, we will build back stronger, we will build back better. I want to tell the farmers thank you, that we truly appreciate all they do. They give tremendous service and they are in fact everyday heroes. They get up and ensure that we have food on our table, and were it not for a farmer, we wouldn't be eating. So oftentimes we may take it for granted, but we want the farmers to know that we're the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, that we do not take them for granted, and we're here to support them. So we will continue to roll out our activities to support our farmers during this month and the entire year. They know that rather the AIC, the NIC, all the agencies of the ministry is there to support them, but my only message is really thank you for all you do.
Next Sunday, June 20, will be observed as Father's Day. Now, if you've been around as long as I have, then you would realize that a father is more than just one half of your genetic makeup. There are a lot of males out there who have taken on the role of a father to a child or children who isn't theirs biologically. And guess what? That's okay. It takes a real man to do so. In the week leading up to Father's Day, take some time to not only tell but show your father or the father figure in your life just how much you appreciate him. Buy or make a card, prepare breakfast, buy a gift, or simply take him somewhere special. Fathers, too, ensure that your children know that you love them and show them that it is okay to hug your sons and daughters, to say, I love you. And if you are the beneficiary of a loving father, it doesn't cost much to say thank you and I love you. Loving, present fathers represent a vital part of a Jamaica that can truly become the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. This is where the magazine ends for today, but if you would like to see more content like this, then visit our YouTube page. We also have all the latest news and updates on our social media pages and on our website, which you can find at jis.gov.jm. So on behalf of the entire production crew, I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.